Hi,
My name is Tracy,
and my name is Lynn.
and together we
are
are Bollocks and Balls. We like to chat
And boy, can we chat.
about the bollocks and balls.
Mainly in our heads, but also about life in general. After all, it's good to talk.
Hello, we're ready to go. We're just keeping you in suspense.
Yeah.
Everyone thinking, where are they?
I was going to say that. Are they coming on? Are they not
Is
coming
there
on?
anybody there?
What are they doing? Have they completely lost the plot and decided that they're not talking anymore in our podcast?
Can you imagine not talking anymore?
Oh my God, no. Jeez.
I can't imagine that.
No, neither can I. That's a scary thought, that is.
It would be, wouldn't it, a little bit?
Yeah.
They probably don't think that.
No,
but-
they're probably like, shut the fuck up. We've had enough of you talking. I'm bored already. We're only 49 seconds in. I'm done.
Shut up.
Shut the hell up.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine that.
But I always say that if you cut off my hands, I wouldn't be able to talk.
No. It's funny, isn't it?
Like when people like me to sit on your hands so you don't talk. I find it really uncomfortable.
It's like when I'm listening, I have to turn things off to see what I'm doing. Don't you ever do that?
When you're driving in a car and you have to turn the radio or the music down so you can see where you're going.
All the time. It's true though, isn't it?
Yeah, I do it all the time.
Why do we do that?
I don't know.
I think it's for me, I just think, I can't concentrate
I can't concentrate.
because I've got to think what I'm doing.
Yeah, I can't concentrate.
Got to think to
However, the random thing about that, the opposite of that,
think.
is if I'm doing stuff at home. So say like I'm sat in front of my laptop doing work at home
Yeah.
for our stuff, I will often have something on in the background.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'll put the telly on.
Yeah.
I'm not watching it,
No,
but it's just something.
it's sound.
It's something background noise in. Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Weird people, aren't we?
Yes.
Weird humans.
We are. I think all humans are weird in general.
Yeah, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah. We all need to embrace our weirdness.
Oh, absolutely.
People are scared to embrace their
Yeah,
weirdness.
they are. It's a bit of shame, isn't it? Because there's lots of weirdos out there.
There is.
Mm.
And us weirdos need to find other weirdos
Yeah, definitely.
to show you that weirdo is okay.
Weirdo is okay. Weirdo's the new okay.
It is.
We're putting it out there. Weirdo is the new okay.
The weirdo is the new normal. I did like my little finger bit in.
Inverted whatsits.
Inverted whatsits.
Oh, that's such a horrible word.
I know. It's yeah.
Mm.
There's no such
What
thing.
is normal?
There's no such thing.
There
It's all
isn't.
crap.
It's like normal perfection. It's just bollocks.
It is all bollocks.
Yeah.
Doesn't exist, any
No.
of it.
It's just a load of bollocks and bull. See?
Crap we're programmed to believe
Yes.
from the outer echelons of life.
Oh, well, there's
Ooh.
where'd you get that word
I
from?
don't know. Where did that sound? That's a bit of a big word. We've done lots of thinking today.
Yeah, we have actually.
I couldn't think of that word.
My brain is hurting a little bit
Oh
now.
God, mate, yeah. I think we've reached full capacity on the brain front, which is why we stopped thinking and decided to do this podcast because
Yeah.
we thought we'd run out of brain power.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Mine is deteriorating fast.
So, what were we going to talk about today?
Well, our theme for this month, isn't it, is for February, is identity.
It is identity.
Isn't it?
It is.
And loving ourselves
For
and all that
who
goes
we
with
are.
it. Because
Yes.
we should love ourselves who we are, but
Yes.
we don't seem to be very good at it.
No.
Well, we're programmed not to, aren't we? I know we harp on about programming, but it's such a biggie.
It is, and we're like you say, we're led to believe that we need to fit in a box.
Oh, Bloody boxes.
Boxes that other people have told us that we need to fit in, and our identity is based around that in box that we've
and stick a big fat label on it.
Yeah, this is it, isn't it? And we live to that, don't we?
Yeah, we struggle to be ourselves because we are programmed from a very young age not to be ourselves.
Yes.
You imagine, right, like when we're little, aren't we? We run around, we sing out loud, we do crazy things, we're not afraid of anything. Well, except what's under your bed or in the wardrobe.
The boogeyman.
I'm sure parents tell you that, programming to keep you in bed.
We do lots of programming with kids.
But, and then suddenly, it's like boom, and suddenly it's like, oh, I can't do that because I'll be embarrassed, or I can't do that because somebody will say I'm really silly, or think I'm silly, or think I look stupid, or like, that's bollocks, isn't it?
See, that's fascinating. Isn't it? See, like you say, at what age do we suddenly stop becoming little kids and we're allowed to do silly things?
It's like somebody flicks a switch, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, we can do all those childish things, and you never, like when you're not I can remember that long ago, when you're 4 years old, like you never, like you always got to put on little shows and sing and dance in front. Oh, look at this, look at me dancing at this. You're absolute shite, aren't you?
Yeah.
You think you're amazing. Mind you, at 4 everybody tells you you're amazing. There is a difference to that as well. When you get 40 and you're dancing like that, people tell you you look absolutely freaking ridiculous, which you probably
and you should know better at your age.
That's probably part of the programming, actually, isn't it?
But it is. But that's what I mean.
Everybody tells you you're amazing when you're little, no matter what you do.
What age do they flip that switch and go, you can't now do that anymore?
Well, that's it. And why, if you do it at 4 or 40, why at 4 you're amazing, at 40 you're not? When it's exactly the same, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I'd probably still dance like I'm a 4-year-old, to be honest.
Exactly. Why is there this big program thing about, I get there's rules.
Yeah.
There always have to be rules and boundaries. I get that. But basically, why can't we behave ridiculous or silly or funny when we're older? Why is it a thing that we shouldn't do that because we're supposed to be a grown-up?
Yeah, but grown-ups suck.
It does suck being a grown-up.
So again, isn't it? We're told that our identity, once we reach 18, 21, is that we're a grown-up, and now we have to behave grown-up.
To be honest, I think it's even earlier than that these days.
To be honest, I think you're probably right.
I think like around 12, 13, they start thinking they can't be silly anymore.
Yeah,
which is really sad, because we all got to be a bit silly, haven't we?
But that's what makes life a bit more fun. So why do they say
Well, I think as an adult, that's the problem. That's why we forget how to have fun.
Because we suddenly decided we need to be grown up, and grown-ups aren't allowed to have fun.
We don't suddenly decide, do we?
Well, no, that's true.
So when did the society decide that we had to be all sensible? Because, right, people who have fun actually get more work done.
Yeah.
And are usually more productive. So why is it that we're programmed the other way around, that we have to be really stifled and sensible, when actually that's not the way to get people to feel good about themselves, do a good job, be kind to other people? So if we all were programmed to have fun, we would all be having a bit more fun. Doesn't mean to say that having fun is off the scale, that you're doing things that are irresponsible, does it?
No.
It's funny how like society is attached being irresponsible with being or having fun, haven't we?
You've just made me think. So I know it's scary, But there's a funny smell in this room now because I've been thinking. So when my eldest and middle son were at school, they had a particular. They ended up having the same maths teacher, and they got on really well with this maths teacher, and he would make things understandable, so they got it. Okay, so that it was fun and stuff like that, so they got it. And then my youngest had like a maths teacher that wasn't so great, but then this other new maths teacher came in, and he did amazing things with them. Like he got them to play poker, to understand the laws of probability and luck and all that kind of thing. He got a massive bollocking for doing that. But the kids really understood it, and because he did things like that with them, they learned a lot more. They learned more because they were having fun.
Frustrating, isn't it?
But like you say, he got a bollocking for doing that because it was seen as gambling. And you're not supposed to teach kids to gamble.
But he wasn't using money.
No, he wasn't. He was getting them to do it to show them the laws of probability and luck and stuff like that.
See, that is really annoying, I think, as well, because so he was teaching them poker, but not with any money involved. So there's no gambling involved. No. It's just that society adds that to it.
Yeah.
So poker is a gambling game.
Yeah.
But think about any sport.
Yeah.
There's gambling attached to any single sport out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you can play that in school.
Yeah. This is it, isn't it? Again, that society thing that identity that's not what should be done in school.
God, just bollocks.
Except it taught the kids loads.
And if it taught them loads and it did the job, and they weren't actually gambling, which they were.
No.
What is the problem?
That's it, isn't it?
But they were having fun.
They were having fun, so they learned. They understood it. They learned loads.
We all learn when we're having fun, because I think as well, you're in a more relaxed state, aren't you?
Yes.
When you're enjoying yourself, you're having fun. So it's a much better mental state to be in. So this is what I don't understand.
No, me neither.
I was just trying to think, people have always been funny and had fun and all that, but I think it is sort of knocked out of us a bit, isn't it?
I think it is. I think as you go older, like you say, as you get older, we're led to believe that our identity you should be more serious, that you should knuckle down and do stuff, and you need to knuckle down and get work done. And
because don't you ever? I do this, right?
Uh-oh.
Do you ever do like you're somewhere and you just really want to do something silly?
Yes.
It's almost like every piece of your body is itching, but you don't.
Yep.
But we should, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
We should just do it. We just should do it. Because what is to say we shouldn't?
Well, there isn't anything to say they should have.
But it's just that straight away, because of that programming, we think, and that little voice clicks in then, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
you can't do that. You're grown up. You're an adult.
People will laugh at you. People will look at you. People will think this. People will...
You're 50 plus years old. You shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
It's just shite.
Yeah, it is. And there are some people that just do that. Just do it, and I so admire them.
But I don't, because that's the thing, isn't
all
it?
of us.
I think it should be all of us, and I think most of us. Well, I don't know. That's a big statement to say most of us. But I would personally find that amusing if somebody did it. I wouldn't be judging them. I would be like, good on you, fucking amazing, and I would just find it hilarious. Whereas, like you say, but the people that judge is because they would like to do that.
Well, yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah. They would really want to, but
their
don't
identity
think
says they can, but they can't because they're
no.
an adult or a grown up or.
Yeah. Yeah, grown-up sucks.
Grown up does suck, but it does.
See, we're talking about it, but it's like we all have to do it.
Because, like
We
you
don't,
say,
do
we're
we?
led to believe, aren't we?
Yeah.
You know, you're allowed to be a kid till you're about 7, and then it's not so much of a kid, and then by the time you've reached your teenage years, no, you need to knuckle down and start behaving like an adult. Why?
Yeah. Funny, isn't it?
But that's how the majority of people's identity goes, doesn't it?
I know. And then we never end up being ourselves.
No, because we've never been allowed to be ourselves.
Never been allowed to, and then I think we forget how to.
Yeah, I genuinely think we do. I think we get to our age and think, well, shit, I'm not really sure who I'm supposed to be or what I'm supposed to be.
Andy Cope did that wonderful thing, didn't he? Andy Cope from the Art of
Oh,
Brilliance
yeah.
did that wonderful thing where he went into a school and then he managed to talk the headmistress into all the kids staying in at playtime and all the adults and the teachers went outside. And I think there was it a little 9-year-old girl or something who looked out the window and went, Andy, why aren't they all playing? And it suddenly twigged to him, like, because they've forgotten how to.
Yeah.
Because the kids just assumed all the adults would go out and play.
Yeah.
But all the adults
that's what they do.
Stood in the playground going, what do we do now then? Because they don't know how to anymore. It's almost like you forget to, you don't think you can.
Yeah.
So we don't play anymore.
No, because your identity as a grown-up is, well, that's not the sort of thing I do.
Think of all the good things that would do if we all had a playtime. Instead of a lunch break.
Playtime.
Think of if we all went out and had a playtime. Think of all like the tension, the stress, all that would actually release.
Oh my God, that's a bloody genius idea.
Wouldn't it? Because that's what you do with kids. You have a break, have a playtime. And we all do it, don't it? Get outside and let it out, let it go, have a run around.
They're all running around like headless chickens, playing football or being trains or skipping or...
Yeah. So we should so do that. We should have playtimes.
God.
It's a funny thought though. Like, walk over in the business park, he's suited and booted for running around the playground going, Dad, you're on it! Dad!
British Bulldog! With Kirby's like either side. They got bored of lobbing at each other. Oh, that's a freaking genius idea.
It would be so good for our health, mentally and physically, if we had playtimes.
Oh my God, that's genius.
We can learn a lot from kids.
But that's true.
So why do we program it out of them?
No, it's just bullshit, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
Because it's been programmed out of us.
Yeah.
So we think that that's what we have to pass on.
We've got to start allowing people to be who they really are. Not suppress it in, not keep it in.
No, because that just leads to all sorts of other shit.
Yeah. I think I said to you earlier, I heard something this week, and I can't remember where I heard it, who it was, and I can't remember the wording properly. But basically this person said that when you get young people rebelling, it's because they're rebelling because they have so many suppressed insecurities. And I thought, oh my God, that just makes sense. That makes sense from me being a very angry teenager. Because imagine, right, at that age, you're going through so many different changes mentally, physically, and we're transitioning to that stage of when we're a child, now we've got to be an adult.
Yeah.
And that suppresses so much. And the programming, I think, really starts to begin to start to set identities in stone where they really want to be somebody else, but go, oh, I can't be.
No.
I have to be this way.
Yeah.
And then, so I think that brings on those insecurities, which then just get suppressed.
Definitely. You think that identity is generally formed or confirmed between the ages of 7 and 11. So by the time you're 11, aren't you? Between 11 and 12, you start secondary school.
Yeah.
All your hormones are starting to kick in by then, aren't they? For some girls it's even earlier than that, but you're usually starting to kick in then.
Yeah.
For boys it is too. And like you say, and there is that whole big thing, isn't it? You've gone from being at primary school, you're now at secondary school, so you're supposed to be a little bit more grown up, aren't you? You're supposed to,
But also, I can always remember that as well. When you get to the end of primary school, you're the big cheese, aren't you?
Exactly.
You're the big cheese by that stage. Then they send you to secondary school, then you're the flicking little cheese.
Yeah.
There's a lot more bigger cheeses.
I was going to, and they're generally fucking huge.
That in itself was scary as shit.
But that's it, isn't it? So again, you've got a massive change. You've got that coming when your hormones are all over the place. Your brain is not fully developed by then until you're in your mid-20s.
Yeah.
So there is so much that goes on in that time. So you can see why they rebel. And I think even if you've not, as a teenager, outwardly rebelled, I think we've all done something.
Yeah.
There's that whole going out and getting pissed as a fart, in it. Do you know what I mean? And you do that because that's kind of a bit of a rebellion, even though, being home late.
Loads of stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's all about pushing boundaries.
Yeah, of course it is, isn't it?
We're learning boundaries then, and we're learning from, if we're all honest, as parents, or not necessarily parents, as people, we do not use our boundaries properly.
Oh, no.
So I think those kids are learning boundaries from people who don't have a freaking clue about boundaries.
Exactly. Like you're saying, it's not just, is it? They're learning from school, the school society and how they treat them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's really difficult, isn't it? Like you say, the environment.
Because that is quite a suppressed environment. Well, quite a lot. And this is no disrespect to schools and teachers because they do an amazing job, but it is quite a suppressed system.
The system needs looking at. It's not geared for anybody these days.
No.
And that's in my opinion.
Other opinions are available.
The other opinions are available. But yeah, it's and that's the thing, isn't it? And I think as a teenager, school is quite impressionable, aren't they? Because I think you form a lot of more deeper friendships at secondary school than you probably do at primary school, because you tend to play with everybody, don't you, and all that kind of thing. So I think that develops a lot more, doesn't it? So, and
what we were talking about earlier about having fun, don't we always remember those teachers that are fun?
Yeah.
And don't we all have more respect for those teachers that are fun?
But that's
because I think then that's a two-way thing, isn't it? Because I think from them teaching you in a fun way, that's their way of giving respect to you.
Yes.
So you feel then you give it back.
That's it.
Then you're suddenly hit by somebody who just wants to put the rules in but doesn't, so you don't feel respected.
Yeah.
Then you're going to rebel.
That's the thing.
And that, sorry, I'm interrupted, but that is because of their own insecurities in that moment, isn't it?
Yes.
With that person.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, oh God,
sorry.
No, not at all. It's gone anyway. So, but it's just, I think that kids nowadays, children, and especially teenagers, are a little bit, they know their own minds a little bit more.
Which I think's great.
I think is amazing.
Correct.
But I think that because they're being taught often by an older generation who were taught in a different way, like you say, you're seen and not heard, you don't move, you don't do anything, that's why there's this juxtaposition between children and the education system at the moment.
Well, also there is a lot of programming within that system of how they, as leaders, should behave.
Yes.
You know, and they are restricted in themselves, aren't they?
Yeah, and that's the thing. So that's the trouble, isn't it? So I think, you know, schools for young people at the moment is such a big thing, isn't it?
It's a minefield, isn't
I
it?
think it is a minefield.
It's a minefield in the sense of you're just waiting for them to absolutely explode.
Yes,
them.
And that's the thing, isn't it? So they're rebelling and pushing the boundaries. Like, to be honest, they should. You expect toddlers to push the boundaries. I don't understand why we don't expect teenagers to do the same.
And I always think, like, there's a whole big thing, isn't there, at the moment with menopause and understanding menopause and women and all that. So we get to our 40s, 50s, menopause kicks in, hormones kick in. I can remember when that kicked in, thinking, oh my God, I don't know who I am anymore.
Yeah.
I feel totally lost. I don't know who I am. I've got these crazy mood swings, let alone hot sweats. And I was a mess. But I was 40 then. I was 40 years old, and yet I was lost. I was a mess. I didn't know what I was thinking. I couldn't control my moods. But because I'm menopausal, there's a reason for that. And there's an understanding. It's not enough of an understanding, but there's a certain amount of understanding about that. But isn't that how a teenager is? And yet they haven't got the experience of life to help them with that. And it's flipping hard at menopause stage. Imagine what those poor kids are feeling at like 13, 14, 15, 16.
That's it. And like you say, it's not just they're trying to form an identity.
Yeah.
Their brains aren't fully developed, so they're unable to, and this I know is fact, that they are unable to see anything past their own things. So people say, teenagers don't see past their own. It's because they can't. Their brain is not developed enough to be able to do that. So it doesn't fully develop till you start fully developing and until you're in your mid-20s.
Yeah, we don't give them any understanding.
But we don't. All we do is berate them.
Yeah.
Because they're not doing well enough at school, because they're being a pain in the ass. Do you know what? Control them.
So then they can't be themselves.
Yeah. So that's it, isn't it? So that's where, that I think that's the prime bit where, you need to give them a level of understanding and not force an identity on them that they don't want, or is because that's what you want them to be.
Yeah. And then they carry that forever. I mean, how many of us now, at our age, are still struggling with, who am I?
Exactly. That's the thing, isn't it?
We're all still struggling with our own identity.
Yeah.
But if we could just do something back there.
That's it.
Well, we talk about acceptance all the time, and there has to be more acceptance.
Definitely.
For each other and all that.
That's it, isn't it? I just think, isn't it, career-wise with young people, why do you need to set them in a... Who, seriously, at 16, really knows what they want to do? There are the odd people.
And also, I think that's a very programmed generation thing, because I think for me and my generation, there were certain jobs when we were growing up. Those jobs are just so different now, aren't they? When people, as a kid, you used to go, I want to be an actor or a singer or whatever. It was a bit like, get a proper job.
Yeah.
But they are proper jobs. Yeah. And even more so now. I think in a very digital social media world, there are so many different diverse jobs now that that's acceptable.
But
so it doesn't matter what that child thinks it wants to be, because we all know as adults, don't we, that when you start that journey, you go, I want to be an astronaut. You go, yeah, great, because they will start a journey. Now that journey will diverge along the way, doesn't it? But don't suppress it. don't suppress a dream then, because no matter how big, whether we're kids or stuffy adults, we all need dreams.
And the thing is also is that in our day, you stuck to one job. That doesn't exist.
No.
Right, let's be realistic with you and me. How many times have we changed careers in the lifetime that we've had?
Quite a few.
Exactly. So, you don't have to be one thing and you have to stick to that.
No.
You can go and retrain and do whatever you want. Just let them change. And your career shouldn't have define your identity anyway. But again, that's another thing.
But allow that freedom,
Yeah.
isn't it? Just having that freedom to be you.
Yeah.
And that can change.
That's it. It changes all the time.
Yeah, that can change and will change.
It does change.
And that's
all the time.
okay.
And that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
We'll
Otherwise, we're sat in a bloody box.
But that's it. And nobody really wants to be sat in a box because the boxes are suffocating.
Yes.
You might as well be sat in a coffin with a lid on.
Oh, we've been a bit soapboxy today.
Oh, we have been a bit soapboxy. We have been a bit soapboxy. But isn't it? I think it is very much.
I think it's such a big subject, isn't it? Identity.
Identity is huge.
And I think it's something that everybody struggles with it along all parts of your life. And it just does need to be more acceptance of people, of each other, and of ourselves.
Yes.
And I think when we can start doing that, instead of being so judgmental, because judgmental just shows insecurities.
Yeah.
So if we're being judgmental, aren't we all showing we're just that rebellious teenager?
Yes.
Because we're being judgmental because we have suppressed insecurities ourselves.
Yeah.
That's why we judge.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it?
Mm.
And we'll have been judged as a young person, and that's where all that's come from, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, like you say, the acceptance for who we are at that given moment, it changes all the time.
It does change. It can be a different
We're
weirdo every week.
Yeah, we can. We're not one thing or one person or one job or one. We're not one anything.
Those days are gone, aren't they? Absolutely.
We are not
Because
one anything.
We always get that say, people have that say, oh, youngsters of today. But if you go back 200 years, people will be going, oh, youngsters of today.
That's it, innit? Old people just get content.
But let's start evolving, and it is an evolving thing, isn't it? This, and I think we are. People aren't changing. People are just evolving. We're knowing more now. We've got more ways of knowing things. So things that we think weren't there 20, 30, 50, 100 years ago have always been there.
Yes.
But we've just not known about them. But
No.
we're now evolving. We're now allowing things to evolve. As women,
Yes.
think where, what women could and couldn't do 50 years ago to now they do.
Well, like you say, you're thinking of our lifetime.
Yes. And I think women now are speaking out with that.
Yes.
And youngsters are speaking out. We want to be this. We want to do this.
Yeah.
We can do this.
Yes.
So it's just an acceptance of all that change, and we can, like you said, we can all change constantly. That's fine.
It's all fluid.
It's absolutely fine. I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago.
God, neither am I.
And that's fine.
I'm not the same person I was probably 6 months ago.
No.
And today I'm
No, she's
happy.
weirder.
I am. And today I'm happy-go-lucky. Tomorrow I might be a miserable fucking bitch.
And that's okay.
And that's okay. But like you say, it changes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's just never. It's fluid. It's just never one thing.
No. But when we can get accepting of our own identity and who we are, and be accepting of ourselves, that's such a big place to be.
It's massive.
And I don't know whether anybody actually does that 100% ever.
Oh, I don't think you do.
Because, like we said, things change. But I think when you can be comfortable with that and be comfortable, it's about just being comfortable with you, isn't it?
I think.
And finding that comfortability. Is that a word?
I don't know. Sounds a good word. But yeah, I think it is, isn't it? It's about accepting that one day you're this and one day you're something else, and actually that's okay. And, you know.
The same with the way we feel a little bit as well.
Yeah.
It's okay one day if you feel happy as Larry, and the next day you feel a bit pants.
And that's it.
It'll pass.
Yeah.
That's okay.
And you accept. I think, on a personal level, I think accepting yourself for who you are and where you've been and the things that you've done.
Oh, big, huge.
Is the biggest thing for me that helps you accept who you are and your identity.
Because we're all okay.
Yeah.
We really are.
You know, so I think that makes a massive difference. But like you said, identity is such a huge thing.
Yeah. And
it starts from when we're tiny, doesn't it?
I know. It's crazy, isn't it?
But isn't
all
it?
those things around us
and we have
a bit of an input on who we think we are.
No, like we've said before in it, like we've done a couple of videos before, and like we said in like the previous, our name.
Yeah.
The minute we're born, we're given that name. It's a name we didn't even choose.
Yeah. Yeah. But we pin something to that.
And then, like you say, in it, you know, with a baby around in my house, you know, what's he going to be like? What's he going to, you know, you know, is he going to be like, you know, mum? Is he going to be like dad? Isn't it?
He's got to be himself.
Exactly. But that's the thing, isn't it? You know, automatically conversations weave around.
Yeah.
That without, and like you say, that's not a conscious thing.
No, that's the thing, isn't it?
You're not consciously making those conversations and thinking, right, I want you to be like this. It's just a natural form of conversation that happens. And I'm sure that happened when I was born. I'm sure it happened when you were born.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm sure I did that with my own children, and now I can see it happening.
Oh yeah, I mean, that just makes me think about, like, I was quite like arty growing up, and my mum and dad were like, oh, yeah, Tracy's going to go to art school. What for? But that was my rebellious side.
Exactly.
Because inside of me is, I'm going to choose what I want to do. And deep down, I probably would have liked to have done that, but because that was being chosen for me, there was not 1 ounce of me on this earth that was going to do it.
But that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that was about you forming your own identity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't it? So being that rebellious by forming your own identity.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, it suppressed other stuff. It's
Yeah.
God, we could go on about this forever.
And I think it's something we don't think about enough, to be honest, really. We battle with it. We battle with finding who we are. We don't take enough time to sit with who we are.
No.
And accept.
And I also think because we don't understand where it comes from.
No.
So actually, if you can start to understand where it comes from, you can start to work the rest of it out.
Yeah.
But we're never ever taught that's where it's come from.
No, we're not. Not at all. Well, I don't think we don't even become consciously aware of that unless it is talked about.
Yeah.
And we've mentioned that about a few things, haven't we, today? Yeah. It's quite surprising how we're not consciously aware of a lot of things in our life.
Yeah.
Until suddenly maybe it becomes a conversation and you're willing to sit and think about it.
Interesting. I'm going to leave that food for thought for you.
Yeah.
And your rest of your Sunday after if you listen to it on Sunday or whatever day you're listening to it.
Yeah. Give it some thought.
Yeah.
What has made you who you are? And is it really you?
Exactly. And You're probably not the things you think you are. It's certainly not your job.
No.
Right, my darlings, have a fabulous
day.
Ta-ra! And we will speak to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. So much for listening to Chatting Bollocks and Bull with Lynn and Tracy.
If you would like to see or hear more of us, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or of course by subscribing to the podcast.
If you share this podcast with others, you will make two old birds very happy. And finally, if you want more bollocks and bull in your life,
And who wouldn't?
then sign up to our newsletter. The link is in the show notes.
That's all, folks.
Love ya!